You're listening to Mr. Credit on San Diego 1700 with local credit expert Derek Evans. Now, live in studio, Mr. Credit.
Welcome to Mr. Credit. We are live and local here in San Diego, bringing you the most important hour in radio and telling you everything they don't want you to know. When I say they, I mean the bureaus, the banks, the government, the media, and anyone else who's trying to stick their grubby hands into your pocketbook without you knowing what's going on. Today we're going to be talking about the big business question. You know, I smash big businesses all the time, and it's not because I'm not a fan of business, but I'll get into that in more detail. We're also going to do the Costco argument. There's a big argument that I get into with people all the time about Costco. I'm going to have that one with you today. And we're going to go through all of the credit news, of course. First of all, how about them Padres? Back in first place by a game and a half now over San Francisco, 2 games over Los Angeles because of a 4-game losing streak. Thank you, LA. We appreciate that. You can always check out all of the San Diego Padres action right here on San Diego 1700, so make sure you save this station in your dial. Now, you hear me talking about Bank of America all the time. Of course, we try to, dissect what's written in the media, give you the truth about what's really going on. This first story here that I'm going to lead off with is about, it's about Bank of America, but it's more about just doing business from a big business perspective, and that's why I'm going to read it to you first. So this is actually out of Dallas. And this is, the headline is Bank of America fails to make payments due to a computer glitch. Now, we've heard the computer glitch excuse before, which is where, the bureaus try to tell you, oh, well, if you pay off a collection, if you do these things like this, it's actually a computer glitch that causes your score to go down. It's not us sabotaging the system to try to screw the consumer. I disagree. Now, this story reads, in Dallas, if the nation's largest bank had lost the records of thousands of its customers, federal regulators would take swift action. But that's just what they have done, directly and indirectly, okay, with the paychecks of thousands of its contractors and subcontractors in the property preservation business. Property preservation, we're talking about foreclosures. Remember, when someone forecloses on a home, it's when the bank comes and takes the home back. The bank always owns the home. If you have a loan on a home, we say you're a homeowner, but in truth, the bank owns the home. You're paying them back, and you don't really own it until you've paid them off. If you stop paying, they come and get it because they own it. All right? The failure to pay contractors millions of dollars has created a tide of financial ruin in the backwash of the mortgage crisis. For most Americans, foreclosure is a personal tragedy, but Bank of America has a thriving business taking care of tens of thousands of foreclosed homes across the country. The banks always figure out a way to make money. Doesn't matter what's going on. Whether it's good or whether it's bad, they're going to figure out how to make money because that is their sole objective. This is the reason why the system is set up to help it to be more difficult for you to have a good credit score. All the commonsensical things that you think you should be doing to have a better credit score aren't necessarily going to help you. And the reason for that is because lower credit scores equals more money for who? You got it. So, this is why we bring this information to the forefront. For months, the bank has not paid dozens of the contractors who do the work, and as a result, thousands of their employees have gone without a paycheck. Listen to this. This is crazy. This is in Texas. At the Mount Moriah Baptist Church in Fort Worth, members can separate themselves from the burdens of the world. Pastor Patrick Turner knows about the meltdown all too well. When he's not in the pulpit, he's in the property preservation business. That's where you go and you help the banks with these properties that have been deserted and haven't been paid. Properties are usually destroyed at that point. So until recently, his company, Turner Mortgage Services, maintained thousands of foreclosed properties in Texas, Louisiana, Oklahoma, for Bank of America. He said his relationship with Bank of America destroyed his life, hundreds of others, and nearly his church as well. Now, Bank of America, he's even gone on to say that he knows several people who've had to file bankruptcy, had to liquidate, who are homeless now because they've lost everything. And Bank of America is saying that these delays in payments are just a computer glitch. It's just a computer glitch. It's not about the money. It's not about the money. It's just a computer glitch. We're not trying to screw everybody over so we can ensure that we make a profit. We don't, that's not what we're about. Come on. Anyone can see through something like this. What happens when you get these big organizations, and this is my problem with big business, and this is how we're going to start the discussion. Big business only cares about making money. I care about the consumer. I care about you. I want to help you have a higher credit score. Because that is going to save you a ton of money in the long run and give you access to do things that you couldn't do otherwise. Now, when we look at stories like this, you say, really? Is it possible that a bank had a computer glitch that kept them from paying millions of dollars to contractors? I mean, I do my bill payments online, with my bank, which Bank of America offers, and it's a piece of cake. Pay the bill. You put the number in. You've already got the address preloaded. Hit pay. You're telling me they can't do that to their own tracks? Of course they can. Of course they can. I mean, it's not even worth talking about. But here's what they're saying.
Well, you're going to eat it whether you like it or not.
We are too big for you. You can't touch us. We will do what we want, and you will deal with it. That's what's happening. And nothing will happen unless it's brought to the forefront. This is happening in Dallas, which is a good place for this to happen, in my opinion, because things in Dallas don't go untold. But the bad news is, just based on the politics of the situation in the country right now, this is not something you're even hearing about on the news. Remember last week we talked about how the CEO of Bank of America was in the White House, rubbing elbows? Of course. And then they put out the story that they've done 70,000 modifications to people's homes to try to prevent foreclosures. Try to prevent foreclosures. Well, this guy here seems to think that they have a thriving business taking care of these foreclosed homes. A thriving business. If business is thriving, that is not something that they're going to stop. It's just that simple. That is how big business works.
More money, more money, more money.
That's all they're worried about. So I'm not, and I have to have this argument all the time because everyone thinks I'm anti-big business. I'm not anti-big business. I'm anti-monopoly business, okay? I'm anti, there's only 4 banks that you can bank with business, okay? I love Walmart. I know a lot of people don't like Walmart. I'm going to get hate mail for saying that. I love it. I think it's great you can go there and buy just about anything you need on the cheap. So I'm not against big business. I'm against big businesses when they trap the consumers, when they put you in a situation where you don't have control of your destiny, where you don't have the opportunity that you should if you were fully educated about the scenarios that are available to you. And why does this continue to happen? Because the government is in with the banks. The banks control the credit bureaus. In the end, they're all in control of your destiny. They're trying to hurt us like sheep. This is why they have the system in place the way it is. So if you do what they want you to do, most likely it's going to work out well on their behalf and not yours. And that's why we try to break the mold here by telling you what you really should and really shouldn't be doing. Last week I said, look, free checking at banks, it's gone. It's going to be gone soon. Count on it. Count on that happening. They have the perfect storm. They have all the information that they need to be able to go to the public and say, look, things are bad. Look at all these foreclosures. You don't know it's a thriving business. Look at all these foreclosures. We're hurting so bad. We're going to take away the free checking we have to. Sorry. In reality, they're just figuring out another way to get money from you. And they'll do just about anything they can to do so, including eliminating free checking. This is why I promote the idea of going to a local credit union. All these credit unions here, I don't have anyone that I particularly say that you should go to, but a credit union makes more sense. A credit union is still a big business technically. They're not a small company. They're a small bank, but they're still a big business. And they're run properly. Think about the way that a credit union works versus a bank. The bank is there to make money. They'll do anything they can to make money. They look at you and they say, hey, if we have $100,000 of you paying us $4 a month, that's $400,000. The credit union looks at the situation and says, hey, if we make a profit, we're going to turn that back around and give it to you. When you bank at a credit union, you are an owner of that bank technically. So when they have a profit, they kick that back to you in higher interest rates on your savings accounts, lower interest rates on revolving credit lines with the bank, lower auto loan rates with the bank. Okay, they turn it around and bring it back to you. And they still run a good business, lots of employees, everybody's happy. Now, why is it that we can't make something like this the norm?